Hey guys, first regards in here, and I'll be talking about an auto bolt rifle build for the tactical class in Space Marine 2 patch 13. Now this build will be combining the obvious auto bolt rifle and the heroic plasma pistol to have a ton of boss damage, because usually the auto bolt rifle is not very strong against bosses in this game, but currently the crack and penetrate rounds perk is still bugged to function on the plasma weapons in the game as long as you swap to your bolter before the shot actually lands, and because of that the heroic plasma does a stupid amount of damage, and this is confirmed to be bugged up until at least patch 14, because there will be no new hotfix for patch 13.2 and beyond. Now for the auto bolt rifle, the variant you pretty much always take on this weapon is the magazine capacity ammo reserve option, because the other version here, the accuracy variant, it kind of goes against the philosophy of this gun. And what I mean by that is this is a barrel stuff weapon, so perk effects here like close combat, enemies at distance more than 15 meters take 15% more damage. These are like fundamental to the entire gun, and really you don't need accuracy for that at all, so for that reason you pretty much always pick this up. Now the first perk here is also home precision. Equip weapons maximum spread decreases by 50% when firing without aiming, which means you pretty much always hip fire this gun as well, and because of that I do prefer taking a block weapon on this build, because on the consoles and also on the PC, your hip fire and gun strike key are permanently tied to each other, so if you do use the Argent Edge you'll be forced into gun strikes when you're trying to hip fire your auto bolt rifle all the time, so block weapons just make it way easier to pull off your hip fire shots. Now for the next perk here, I take close combat into fast reload into the perk here Headhunter, and then we pick up the perk here Elite Hunter. After killing a Majoris or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Now this perk will trigger on a melee execute, not just a melee kill, so it's much better than it sounds initially. This is also one of the best damage buffs on this entire gun, so definitely grab this. And then you have your choice of going down here for Great Might into the perk Rampage like I did, into increased capacity, because I often find this extra ammunition here is like the biggest benefit of the auto bolt rifle, which is that you have a pretty fat stack of ammo, which means you can skip over things like Emperor's Vengeance if you don't want them, and just take stuff like Emperor's Judgment instead, or Steady Aim. So for that reason I do go down here, though the armor restoration and rapid health recovery is quite strong as well if you want to do that. Now for the secondary, I do just build my heroic plasma for pure damage here, because there are a couple ways to set this one up as well, where if you take the perk here Charge Cooling, it says charge shots generate 10% less heat. This will allow you to get off 2 shots of your heroic plasma without overheating instead of 1, but down here is better for pure damage, so we're doing that today. So first up I take Plasma Collection into the perk here Rapid Cooling, and then we grab Plasma Collection again into the perk Blast Radius, Perpetual Velocity down here in the Plasma Collection, into the perk Blast Radius again, and then I pick up Retaliation for the 25% damage buff for 10 seconds on a perfect dodge, and the final perk here is Divine Might for a 10% damage buff. That's all there is for the heroic plasma. Now for the melee weapon, we do take the White Scars Chainsword here, because this weapon is kind of cracked as far as block weapons are concerned, and for the perk tree setup we just go for a standard chainsword for the most part, starting off with Perpetual Strength first, moving here to the perk Swift Recovery for double CHP recovery, then we pick up Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength again, moving into the perk Reverberating Impact for a stomp AoE radius increase of 50%, and then I grab the perk here Combined Onslaught, Heavy Onslaught, Full Throttle for the combo skip, and the final 2 perks here are Hard Target and Majoris Slayer. If you want to know how to one combo Extremis with this perk setup, I do have a whole video for that, I'll put in like the description or something. Now for the perk tree here, we do start off with the perk Crack and Penetrator rounds. Bolt weapons penetrate 1 more enemy, non-headshot damage increased by 50%. Now because of a bugged perk interaction with this weapon, or excuse me, with the heroic plasma pistol, as long as you swap to your auto bolt rifle and have a bolt rifle equipped after firing your plasma shot before it lands, you will trigger the Crack and Penetrator round buff. So a really powerful option for like boss nuking and one-shotting Extremis. That will probably be patched next patch, and if you really don't want to use that, you could take like Plasma Boost with the stuff here with the charge cooling, because this will give you double shots on your plasma and actually take advantage of that perk. So like if you feel like this is a little too cheesy, you don't have to use that, but that's like another option for you. Next perk here is your choice of Versatility for 25% more damage on your secondary, or the safer option with Heightened Vigor. I'm going to be taking this one because even with the 8 speed of a block chainsword in the White Scars variant, this can still kind of get you staggered occasionally, and when you're trying to charge up your secondary here, this thing has a 5 business day charge speed, and getting hit by 1 Whip Warrior will interrupt that, which does feel like ass in this game, so for that reason Heightened Vigor is quite strong. Next perk here is Emperor's Judgment for a 20% range damage buff for 10 seconds on execute and reloading your weapon automatically. A really nice perk interaction here for the auto bolt rifle. If you want like straight up infinite ammo, you can always just take this option here. Next perk here is Aligned Aim for range damage increase of 15% for all team members. Moving here into the perk of Vital Data, precise calibration and concentrated fire, because these two perks combined just give you a ridiculous amount of Auspex damage, and Auspex damage will save your life in Space Marine 2, especially against bosses. So like when you put these down, you will just nuke a boss on the Heroic Plasma. Very powerful perk interaction. Final perk here is Radiant Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant AoE damage to 10-meter radius. The cooldown is 90 seconds. You pretty much always take this perk these days. Marked for Death is like not god awful, but like this one is on a 120-second cooldown. This one is a 90-second cooldown, and the AoE here can hit like 10 Majoris at once and one-shot all of them and do tremendous damage to Extremis anyways. It is by far the best perk on Tactical for the Cinder Tree currently, which does kind of suck in some ways because the other ones need a buff for sure, but for now, you pretty much always grab this one. Now, for the prestige perk options, we take Acuity first for headshot damage, into the perk here, Skill Supplier, Resilience, and Fortitude, and that is pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I mean, you could take Spare Power if you really wanted to, but if you want to like skip over one of these two perks, or like one of these four even, I just don't think it's worth taking, because Fortitude is like your only survivability perk on the tactical. Resilience helps out Stim Economy a ton. Skill Supplier just gives you more ammo on your secondary and primary, and headshot damage increases on like any bolt weapon just makes too much sense to not take. And that is all there is for this one. If you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game or just coming out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch. And if you also want to, I also want to say a special thank you to my channel members. Your support has helped me make guides like this for like nearly 2 years now. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. What's the point? Exactly, dude.
Travel beneath the tenement and up into the fortress.
A surprise attack. I approve.
Now, the auto bolt rifle, I'm gonna be real, this gun's like kind of overhated these days. They have done a lot of buffs to it. It's not too bad anymore. I don't know if I mean, even this build worked alright against Chaos because the auto bolt rifle can't function. Now, one of the other benefits of a block weapon is that 50% damage taken debuff on enemies, since you are not getting a gun strike, you're able to use that 50% debuff on the enemy immediately on your hip fire. And this gun has better accuracy in the hip fire, which means you're not stuck into a forcible gun strike every single time. Like one of the most annoying parts of this whole game, in my opinion, is that the hip fire and gun strike key are permanently stuck together. So, for example, I go up to this guy and he tries to pull some sick moves on me. Alright, well, I mean, it's sort of where you get that 50% buff on him. Or debuff.
A Xeno stealth beast tries to ambush us. Put it down.
I've been streaming SM2 a ton. I feel asking me about what builds are good, but I always refer them to UFG. Hope you don't mind me dropping your name on my streams all the time for useful information. Listen, one of the nicer ways people drop my name, so I'll take it.
Their numbers are no match for our trade.
Ow. Cool guy.
Inserting fresh magazine.
Only got one guy in that.
Battle power unleashed. Frag grenade deployed. The Tyranids have no higher tactics. Commencing all space scan. We live. Xenos die. Munitions here. Frag grenade.
Your hip fire is actually so much more accurate than your ADS. You know, I don't really know why they even have accuracy versions of guns sometimes in this game, because in the case of like the auto bolt rifle,
Take all you can
when do you ever want that? Do I have Emperor's Vengeance on this build? I might actually take that. Well, we'll see in a second.
Readying next volley. Executing countermeasures.
FTG is the Chase the Bro, Space Marine 2. And Chase the Bro for Elden Ring. Also a PvPer in that game. Any thoughts on the reworks coming to Vanguard Heavy and TAC in the future? I didn't say it'd be like a major rework, just some perk changes for them. I mean, there'll probably be some interesting stuff there, I'm sure.
Changing magazine.
He does Elden Ring and Souls, great guy. You know, Jeff has played against him in the PvP in that game a couple times, kind of funny. Attacking some melee-oriented perks is a nice touch. Yeah, maybe Tactical will finally be more cracked. Give him the Power Sword, too. The class straight up deserves Power Sword.
Inserting fresh magazine. Second wave heading for Fester and rot. Xenos abomination.
Well, I guess you just face tank that one. Poor guy.
Perhaps they seek to choke our rivers with their dead. Our tactical superiority reflects their numbers. Eliminate Xenos mines. Concussive ordnance thrown.
Okay, there we go. The Ravagers are playing For Honor. That's what it kind of feels like right now, yeah. Her animation canceling me.
Their numbers are no match for hostile battle. Reloading.
I think the new class will be a Terminator. That is like the least. That's like a guaranteed no. Has an absolve. First of all, it has an absolver pistol. It's like you don't always see on Terminators. and also, at least in my knowledge, and also, I think a champion skin, and also Terminators make no sense as like part of a random ass Primaris squad. And it also says it's gonna be a highly community requested one. I mean, I guess Terminators were requested, but not like really like, it's not a reasonable request, I don't think, in this game.
Readying next volley.
Captain, the way center entrance and our victory are right ahead. Good. The hive ships are moving into range of the capillary towers. We are in Kadaku's final hours.
It's giving me my 7 armor bars and assault cannons already. I'm telling you guys, the auto bolt rifle is not too shit these days. Like, it doesn't feel that bad. In some ways, it can be more consistent for like horde clear. It feels a little bit better for like hipfire horde clear than the Volt Carbine does against Wormy guns. I don't know if I could call it a peak weapon, but
Their numbers are no match for our troops. Changing magazine.
Force engaged.
We launched that cystic Xenos monstrosity. Our orders are clear. Advance.
there we go.
I assumed the reclamation machines would be active.
Heavy does have the enforcement balance per window, so it's gonna be awkward in melee. That is true. I think the heroic heavy bolter is best for him.
All of the consoles here.
Which chapter is most worried to own the Great Sword Champion skin FTG? Which chapter? Probably Blood Angels. Maybe Blood Angels or Dark Angels, right? Gotta be one of those two. Yo, FTG, do you think they're finally gonna give the heavy classic combat knife while he's wielding the heavy bolt rifle and finally next update? No.
Inserting fresh magazine.
I don't think you'll ever see a melee weapon on the heavy.
Console operational. Connection to core control is established.
Synaptic service.
But just this year makes more sense since chapters only have one chaplain. Well, you wouldn't have multiple chaplains in the game, so it still makes sense, right?
Reloading.
Also, who the fuck wouldn't want to play as Leandros?
Precisely what we needed.
Like, that would probably bring in more players, I feel. And since, like, this is the team that was sent in to go kill, like, you know, the Hive Tyrant and stuff like that, it would be really funny if, like, Leandros was the one who killed the Hive Tyrant and saved Titus.
Readying next volley.
Like, the thing is, Leandros is a Division 1 hater, but he's, like, not unreasonable, you know? Like, he will still help Titus. He's a good chaplain. He's just, you know,
Let us find this
a Titus hater. But, like, who wouldn't be? Titus is sus.
tyrannic pollution ensnares the system. We must find whatever pollution breathed these lines. matter at its source, brothers. The contamination is removed.
Foreign biological matter no longer detected. System accessible.
Fester and rot. Not an abomination.
Blessings extended to the slumbering unit.
FTG, I'm new to Absolute and your builds helped me a lot through there. Keep up the good work. Always will, brother. I think the only thing that could ever pull me away from this game would be realistically GTA 6, but also more realistically Total War 40k. And Grace, I think the tier 1. A lot of guys. Or do this.
Tyranids have no mind for tactics.
Almost bad.
System is running. Let us open the fortress door.
Alien bioform eliminated.
A lot of bad guys, a lot of dead guys. True.
System is running. Let us open the fortress door.
Lost the champion skin just this year be the Imperial Fist for some goddamn reason. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be just this year, guys. I just do not think that's coming. They also said there was a one-handed hammer coming, and I don't think a one-handed hammer makes a lot of sense for
Head up to the cannons and remind
that
the
shit.
Xenos of whom they dare to attack.
All right. They either cancel or postpone the 2-minute stores, so it's probably not just this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We cannot backtrack. Zone through. Coordinate fire. The lictor stood no chance.
Right, get down, Mr. Buzz, at the moment. No, let's do it this way.
Synaptic servants slaughtered. Your approach spotted. Do not let it get in your way.
Through the fucking wall.
Tyranid like beast sighted.
Never gonna kill him.
Inserting fresh magazine.
There we go.
That zoanthrope has played its last mind.
Try to do this. So we'll lower him a little bit. We'll do that, and we'll do this.
Enhanced visuals incoming. Only twitching Xenos carapaces remain. Melter charge done. Fester and rot.
How he survived, dude. It's like Master Yoda. I just survived the Melta Purge.
to everyone. The Codex demands it.
Right, man. Heroic Plasma really has like filled out a lot of the builds in this game, because previously, like, what were you really going to take as a secondary option for boss damage? Not a ton, but the Heroic Plasma really fills in that gap on like an auto bullet rifle build. How I prefer it here. The Mike Tyson Plasma Pistol, yeah.
That foe before it calls for reinforcement.
That is our way to the battle, my brothers. The Tyranids seem to know you're close.
Who doesn't love a nuke
Massacre
button?
the fortress.
I love that shit, man.
Eliminate all of them. For the Emperor.
I will say it might be a little detrimental to this final portion because you can't really can't easily go about some things on this, but we'll see.
Battle power unleashed.
I mean, do we want a Pyroblast or canister? Not really. Oh, perfect.
The Tyranids
Bang.
scourge towers above us, but not for long.
The defensive cannons will terminate it. Remain on guard. Show and troop approaching. Our adversaries are keen to lose it.
Ow. This should one-shot him.
All fury and thunder. No tactics. Alien fireball eliminated.
Is the FTG sure is gonna say bang and have the sword warrior? I think it's gonna be more so like guardsman stuff. Does this outfit feature any DLC cosmetics? I don't think so, no. Unless you count, no it doesn't. Unless you count the Macrog chainsword. But you know, all the DLCs are on sale for this game right now, or like most of them. For the Steam Summer Sale.
Readying next bomb.
You are near the last cannons. You will need to find the manual controls to operate them. We see the console. Soon we will use this fortress's weapons on the Tyranids.
Oh, okay. What's stronger, a sword warrior, or excuse me, a one-shot plasma gun, or one sword warrior's bow and swords?
Fester and rot.
They straight ignored that shit, dude. Are you kidding me?
How we destroy this filth. After the servo skull connects to the console, we will eliminate the scans.
Active. Targeting system non-functional. Initializing secondary system.
Excuse me.
Prospects connected.
What are you supposed to be dead?
Targeting system.
The Tyranid aims for us.
As you aim, the server skull will be able to target.
Do not let its waste poison. Keep at it, brothers. Show the Tyranids no mercy. Press the attack.
I don't even know what injured this guy before he got here, but something did. The hydrogen sword guard versus coughing plasma dude.
Take cover, brothers.
True.
Keep at it, brothers. Shabak away.
Defense cannons depleted.
before it falls from me. There will be no aid for
That's
our
cool. We like that. OG Sisters of Battle be a unique Siege Mode edition. Guys, you're not going to see Sisters of Battle in Space Marine 2, okay? Quick question, after Siege 3 Death Watch and handle my Norris, Majoris, and bosses, I do struggle with melee extremists, but I really would like to start playing Absolute. Is that fair for other players? I mean, dude, you think 90% of this game's player base gives a singular asinine shitfuck if you go into if they go into absolute difficulty at level 1? The fact you're even asking that question means you're probably in the top 1% of polite players in Space Marine 2.
Servos call detected. Synchronization complete. Cannon ready.
Press the attack. Do not let them recover, brothers. The tyranny aims for us.
Alright.
Away from his filth, brothers.
At least this weapon here is actually very good for clearing the Minoris out.
alien firebombing.
Take cover, brothers.
Last cannons ready. Establish target.
Back away from his toxic expulsion. The tyranny aims for us. Away from his filth, brothers.
Waiting for fire command.
Keep going. We can finish this.
We should do it.
Take cover. The auxiliary generators give us more fire to cleanse this infestation. We must replenish the last cannons so we can eliminate these tyrannids.
That way. Silly me, I had to spin the wheel.
The tyranny aims for finished here. Cannons ready for the Imperium.
Triple zone throw, and a double zone throw. Oh shit, we missed. Reassess trajectory, please. That's not good.
Four miles. Shoot them. Might it down with it. Tyrannies have no vibrant tactics. Zone throw will not be troubling us any further.
Take cover, brothers.
Right, there we go. It's finally fucking over.
The Tyranid Titan is defeated. We can target the towers, Captain. Take the shot on those damn towers and
Finally.